Who knows if I have everything here? But we're going to find out. Hi! Welcome to my live. If I look like a greasy, slimy, end of the day sort of chick, it's because that's how I am right now. I did just use this wipe here to clean the excess sweat since I'm going to put some stuff on my face. So hopefully the lighting is good. Hi, Kelly Makeup. And I missed some other people on here, but welcome. Makeup influences. And we are going to talk about Juvia's Place. So Sunday, I did an unboxing of a couple of things, including, but not limited to, these guys to expand my Juvia's Place collection. So you guys know, of course you know this. That's why you're here. Or maybe you're not here for that reason. Maybe you're here because of my fabulousness. I don't know. How are you guys doing tonight? Anything exciting happening out there in the world of the IG? I don't know. Anyway, so I placed an order. And I got these two guys because these were, I had not had these yet. I didn't have these yet. Oh my gosh. And then I got these because this is what is exciting. Do you see these guys? So we're going to play with these. I tried putting on makeup for the first time on camera, on my live, not on camera, but on my live. And since I've been doing lives pretty much exclusively, and so that's what we're going to try to do tonight. But I'll tell you kind of what I thought. I have not used these at all, other than just swatching them. So I'll make sure I do that. Kind of get into them a little bit. I got this also, and this is one of their foundation sticks. I did use this twice. For this time of year and the fact that I'm oily, it is definitely oily, which I expected because it is a stick. But it does blend out really nicely and has a really nice overall look to it. So, and then I picked this up today at an Ulta. These are the ones you have to shake. So if you get this stuff, this is the eye primer in the lightest color. So this is basically kind of, people have compared it to the ABH, which I have a little one of, but a lot of people are saying this is better. I have not tried it yet. And then I wanted to pull this up because this is the other item I have from Juvia's Place. So as far as not palettes, these are the three items I have. What should I try next? I know their lippies have gotten rave reviews, and I'm very interested in using their lippies. But today, Fluffy Smiles is here. Yay. She's always here with me. She likes me. She's my friend. Not always, but a lot of times. And so, yeah, I wanted to go through and kind of swatch these and make comparisons. And hopefully we can swatch up my arms. Okay, there we go. Yep, there we go. So YouTube is getting some weird little focus issues, but that's okay. It happens. Most of my guys are on Instagram anyhow. You guys are probably wondering, or you may be wondering, what's going on with my giveaway. And I've been like hemming and hawing and thinking I really kind of want to do 5 because it was 5K. So I kind of want to do 5 little bits, but I want to make sure that they're good bits too. So I got to make sure that I have that. And I was ordering a couple little things and I'm like, maybe I'll add some other goodies in it too, but I wasn't sure what to add. And then I don't want to, times 5, anything times 5 can add up really quickly. And I am not rich. Your girl ain't made a dough. So anyway, I might just go ahead and get that thing going because I do want to make sure that the giveaway is going because I want to do it because it's fun. I've been saving all these goodies to put in the giveaway anyhow, so I may as well. So here we go. You guys ready? So I think this is what we're going to do. You guys can tell me what you think. Let me go through all of the palettes that I have from Juvia's Place. And then from there, I have most of them. I don't have all of them, but I have most of them. So what is this? Oh, that's that. Okay. So I told you I got these 2 new ones. So this is the Nomad and the Saharan. So not new. These are not new. These are actually quite old. So I just picked those up. And then I've got the 4 quads, which are the newest. Before that, it was this one, and where's the other one? It's right here. Okay, it was stuck with all the other minis. So the bronzed and the bronzed rustic and the blushed rose. So these ones came out a couple months ago, right? They are absolutely stunning, but we'll make some comparison between these. I don't think this one has any comparisons with the quads, but we'll take a look at those. And then for Christmas, I believe it was, they had this one, which is the Royals. I do not have the gold one, but I want that one still too. But this was purple, so it needed to be in my life because it's purple. So that one I grabbed first, and I will eventually get the other one. I've got all of the minis. These I got in a set. Add the violets in there because that's part of it. So these I got in a set for like 70 or something like that. So there's the violets, the chocolates, the mauves, berries, sweet pinks, nudes, and taupes there. And then let's see, where are we? Let me put these in the right place. See, I'm going to put and then I got, this is the original old school. I don't know if it's the original, but it's one of the most popular one. This is the Nubian. Hi, Nicole. Welcome, welcome. Janessa, welcome, welcome. So here's the old school Nubian. Such an incredible neutral palette. And then the Magic Mini, which I did some looks on this not long ago. And this looks like this, and it is oh so gorgeous. One of the most beautiful, colorful palettes I think I've ever seen. And I've also done looks with this one here that are on my thread. I haven't done a setup like most of these. I haven't done my 3 looks or my 5 looks. I was doing 5 looks and then I switched to 3 looks with the palette so that I can get through them faster. And I haven't done that with most of these. So I'm behind, but I have got a lot of palettes. But I really wanted these quads. And I really know that a lot of people like Juvia's place. Now, the thing is, Nicole, you said you're going to check them out. That's fantastic. Keep in mind, if you are a Caucasian girl or a light-skinned girl, a lot of people find these extremely pigmented for good reason, because they are made for and by more like pigmented people. Pigmented, can you say that? Darker skinned people. And so people of African descent. I don't know. I don't think the owner is African. I think they're American, but of African descent. Okay, sorry. There we go. My camera was not focusing on YouTube. And so, yeah. These are just fantastic. And you see, like, these pans are enormous. But this is the Saharan 2, sorry. And then I just picked up the Saharan 1. I know I'm not giving them to you in order, but I'm trying to also keep them a little organized because I have plans for what I'm going to do next and whatnot. This is the Nubian 3. This came out, I think, in the spring. And I think this is such a beautiful, interesting, unique color story. So it's all the corals and then these 3 grays here, which I think is a really beautiful combo. Very interesting and unique. Underrated in many ways, but I think the reason it's underrated is because it really is, there's only so many looks you can do with a 2-toned sort of palette. And then this is the Warrior 3. I do not have the Warrior 1 or 2 yet, but this one is gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then the Festival, another colorful one in a different route. That's more of a rainbow palette. And I have the Walhalla 2. I really want the Walhalla 1, but I do not have that yet. Here's the Walhalla 2. Some people were kind of mad at this one because it has the pressed glitters. It's got 4 pressed glitters, right? Yes. But it really is a beautiful palette, and it performs well. But it also, the pans are much smaller, and I don't know. I mean, I think it's really beautiful, but I do want to get my hands on the Walhalla 1. I don't know if that's going to come up again, but it's not. It's still showing on the site. It's just not showing as available. That's the word. And then the last one is the Nubian 2, which is, again, those enormous pans. Looks like this, and this is so beautiful. These This blue and this green are just to die for. So that's what we've got. So those are the ones I'm working with. And feel free to chime in here and tell me what you want to see and if there's comparisons that you're interested in any of the ones that I have, because I will be more than happy to do that for you. So let's start with these four here. I'm going to actually swatch these as is, and I'm going to kind of spread them out a little bit. Well, no, I'm not. So I'm going to do one on each side here and then one on each side here. Let's see if I can do that opposite hands. And then I'll start to add in some of the other colors from the other ones to see if they compare. So we'll start with the Army because this is the one that is here in front of me. I mean, they're all in front of me, but that was on the top of the pile. So they don't have names on these ones, but I'll just go ahead. This one has 2 shimmers and 2 mattes. This is what they look like. It's a very beautiful grungy green Army, as it says. So I'll put these on the back of my hand. And I will just, well, I should have swatched it so you can actually see me swatch it. Let me do it this way so you can watch the action. And I didn't make it so that you can, so that I can put colors around them, but you can kind of get an idea, right? This is not science. And I have not done one of these swatch parties before. So I think it was Karen Harris that invented this idea. I really like her. I think she's, first of all, she seems so sweet, so incredibly sweet. And since she's pregnant, she's so cute and so glowy and just, I mean, she was always cute, but she's extra glowy and stuff like that. And I just think she's adorable. But, and she also really likes Juvia's place. So maybe she'll watch my video. Probably not. The next one we've got is the grays. Once I get these all swatched, then we can kind of make some comparisons. So the grays also has 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. These 2 shimmers, as I mentioned on Sunday, I think they are pretty redundant. They look really, really close, but this is the light matte and this is the dark matte. So I'll put those on the back here. So here is the light matte. Let me get that in a little bit more. Yeah, so my light is blocking that a little bit. I can't even see that. Now I see it. And actually that one looks more like a satin than a matte. There's definitely a reflect in it. These 2 silvers are not identical, but they are very, very similar. And I do think they're redundant. Let me see if I can block a little bit of that light so you can get that better. Yeah. So that's kind of what they look like. So this one is a darker base, and this one's a lighter base, but I just think that they're more similar than they needed to be. I feel like it would have been better to have one of them more of a gunmetal, as I mentioned on Sunday. I don't need to repeat all that stuff. Here's the honey one, and this would be the one that I would least be interested in, but since I was interested in 3 of them, I decided to go with 4. So yeah, so you agree. Okay, Nicole's giving a clarification of what she was saying. You agree, not my favorite colors look. Okay, so something. All right, I'm going to try to do this here where it actually makes sense. Come on, YouTube. There we go. So we've got, I'm doing this with not my non-dominant hand, so sorry if it sucks. Okay, so there's that first yellow. Some people said that these are, like it's redundant having these 2 in here. And I mentioned when I swatched them on Sundays, I know I'm going extra slow with this. That's because I'm looking at the viewfinder to see where I'm putting these. And because I am doing my non-dominant hand. This one has 3 mattes. This one, and this one are all mattes, and this is the only shimmer. That's a little strange to me in a way, because I think it would have been nice to have had like a light toned honey, like a really, really nice one, because these ones are really similar. They're not identical at all, but they're both mattes, and one of these easily could have been, well, this is the shimmer, so you wouldn't have needed to have one of these as a shimmer, but you could have had it a lot lighter, or even like a much darker one. My opinion. Feel free to disagree. And then we've got the mints. And these mints are fantastically pigmented. Now this first one in the pan, it looks almost silver, but it is a duochrome. Goes from silver to a minty green, which is gorgeous. And this is 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. And I know it looks like I can't, like, I'm like a child doing this because that's how I feel because it's my non-dominant hand. So that's what happens when you don't have enough. Okay, I'm going to turn this light down a little bit so that maybe you can see this a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, so there's the first one. That's that one that I said is a silver to kind of a duochrome. Let me see. There we go. Duochrome silver to mint green. I know that you're not seeing the best quality because I'm not a professional YouTuber. I just do this for fun. There is the next shimmer, which is kind of, there we go. So blocking the light a little bit. Oops, sorry, Instagram. I did that for YouTube and then I didn't see it on Instagram. And then we've got a matte here, which is really nicely pigmented. And this is like the true mint. And then this one is more of a turquoise, minty turquoise sort of color. So those 2 here, I'm going to swatch that mint color again because that swatch really sucked. Okay, there you go. More or less, that's what you got. So I think Instagram, I think you can see it okay. I'm going to block it a little bit here so that YouTube can see it. Get a little bit of that light off of there. That's the problem I'm dealing with. Instagram, you guys are watching me off my phone, and YouTube's watching me off my computer, and it's different lighting that comes through on the 2 different cameras. So anyway, that's what we got. So those are the colors. So now let's see what compares. So do you guys have anything in particular that you want to compare with these? I'll try to keep an eye on your wishes and go with that. I'm going to skip the Nubian because I know this is all neutrals. Let me make sure there's nothing that would match the honeys in here. Actually, there might be. Oh yeah, there actually is. So this is what this looks like with the honey. So let's take this right here because I think this is the closest, almost yellowish neutral. I'm going to put this right below on the honeys here. I think this is going to be quite a bit lighter. Yeah, there we go. But it's pretty stinking similar to this one in tone. It's just, it doesn't seem like it's as pigmented. I'm going to try to build it up a little bit here. So yeah, that's kind of similar, right? So that's from the Nubian. And then I'm going to see, I don't think I have, now this is kind of what I was talking about, is a darker bronze like this might have been really nice to have in there, or a lighter kind of honey shimmer like this one would have been nice, but they didn't have those. So let me see. I don't think they have, I'm gonna swatch this one because this could be a little bit similar. And this is just so if you have these palettes and you say, oh, do I need those quads? You can kind of a little bit take this reference and see if that makes sense. So there is the one from the Nubian, and here's the one from the quads. So this one's a little bit darker and a little bit redder. That one's definitely more honey and a little bit lighter, right? So you guys can kind of see the comparison there, but they're not entirely different. So you could, if you have this quad, you can get an idea of the looks of this, but not as bold, I think. Now in that same stack, and I'm doing the stack that is the ones I've already done my looks on Instagram. So that's why I'm picking these first, so I can kind of keep them organized. So here's what we've got. A lot more colors. Got to grab a drink of water. I just looked over here and saw that my puppy is sitting on the couch. Apparently she thinks since mommy is ignoring her, she can jump up on the couch. That's great. So this is kind of what I was thinking too, something along these lines, even though this is more of a gold, but that might have been nice in that honey palette too. Let's see. I'm going to try this Nana color here, which looks almost somewhat similar to kind of between these two, like this dark matte and the lighter matte. So let me put that down here. See what we end up with. Whoops, sorry guys. Yeah, okay. So you're getting a similarity between these two, kind of something in the mid-tone between these two. Borono is more, I think this is more cool toned of a shimmer than this shimmer here, but I'll swatch it here anyhow, and you can see, sorry, I am not flipping you off. That's just the finger that was available. So you can see that's a little bit more cool tone and a little bit lighter, even lighter than this one here. That was from the Nubian. So that's kind of what you got. Now let's look at the silvers. Now this is what I would have liked to see. So there's basically two silvers in here. There's this light silver and then this darker one that's almost a blue tone silver. And I would have loved to see a blue tone silver in this one, but I think what they're trying to do is avoid duplicating, and that makes sense to me. These are the two silvers out of the Magic Mini palette. So I will swatch these under the grays so you can see. So that's the darker one and that's the lighter one. So I'm going to block this a little bit so it doesn't glare as much. So you can kind of see what's going on there, right? Definitely some similarities, and those are definitely compatible, but they're not dupes. Now, let's pop in here with, there are a couple of greens in here that are they don't really match, but I'm going to try this Buzo. I love this green. I think it's one of the most beautiful greens ever, but I'm going to show you the difference between this one and that one. They are not dupes, but I can kind of give you an idea. So that's what it looks like. Look at that. Do you see how brilliant that is? I know now I'm going the opposite way, but hey, life happens, right? So this is what this looks like. You see it's much more, almost has a blue tint next to this, where this has a green, yellow undertone. This has a blue undertone. But they both are really, really beautifully pigmented green shimmers. Gorgeous. And then Aja, which is this one right here. This one gets a little bit of almost hard pan to it. And it almost feels black, but it is a green. I don't think it's really an army green, but you see there's a little sheen to it. But that's quite similar to these other ones, or would fit there pretty well. So I think there's really nothing minty in this palette at all. Well, Yara. So Yara could be. Let me go ahead and make a comparison. I'll just show you Yara on here. Yara is much deeper, but it's like a deep mint green. So that under the mints looks like this. A lot darker, but definitely would coordinate with that. So far, we don't have any dupes, but we do have a lot of similarities on this side. I would say of all of them, this is probably going to be the easiest one for you to dupe. If you have anything else from Juvia's Place or nothing else, we can just look at this one because it's pretty. There's nothing to dupe in here, but it's so beautiful. So we can just look at it for a moment and go, "Aww." It's one of my favorites. I love that. I'm crazy about purple anyhow. You guys know that. So, okay. So then let's look at the Saharan 2. And again, I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just going in the order of how I have them organized for, like, you know, which ones I've already done the looks from and which ones I want to do next and whatnot. So this is in the pile of ones that I want to do next. That's what it looks like. Beautiful purple packaging and no purple on the inside, but that's okay. And so let's start with the honey first. And of course, we're going to go with this one because this is just the most orange of the ones in there. This is what it looks like here. So let's see if it matches this one here. Whoops. You see, I barely bumped my finger on there. And that's how much pigment. That's how pigmented they are. So if you can't deal with a lot of pigment, this is not going to be the brand for you. All right, this one is kind of similar here. So but this one's a lot more, this is a lot darker. And I feel like, yeah, it's just kind of, it's darker and it's hard for me to see on this end because they're turning. They're pretty similar though. There's a lot of similarities between these two. Okay, I think that is kind of it. I don't think, well, let me try this Hadia, and I'm just pronouncing these phonetically. So I don't apologize for mispronouncing because that's what happens when you learn to read phonetically. So it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. So if anybody's offended by that, then maybe it's your problem, not mine. Anyway, you know, I mean, I respect the language. I love language, so that's not that's not to offend anybody. It's just like people say, "Oh, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing." Why would you be sorry? You're trying. At least try. So this has a lot of similarities to this one, which came from I think the Magic Mini. And there's some similarities here, but it's not as bright. So this is definitely not as bright. We're getting further away. So these are the original 4, and these are some of the other ones that would be comparable. Now let's look at the mints. There are 2. Well, there's not 2. There's 1, which is the, okay, this is going to be hard. Chef Cowan, something like this. Chef Cowan, Chefchaouen, which is an interesting word. I wonder what it means. But here's their mint. All right, so we've got some. That is a really brilliant. You see how bright that is, even compared to these other 2. So yeah, that is a really beautiful mint in this palette. That's it. That's all I've got from this palette that I think is anything comparable to these 4. But now you know. The next one that I had out here is the Bronzed Rustic. And this yellow right here could have some similarities to, and if you want me to review anything or even just swatch anything that you see, let me know. I'm happy to do that. But this is probably going to be the most similar to the Honeys. So I'm sorry, let me get into that a little bit more. My swatches on this arm are kind of pathetic, but you know, there you go. So this has a lot of similarities to this, which is in the quad. I would say those 2 are pretty stinking similar. Other than that, don't see a whole lot in here that would be comparable to anything, but this will be one that I'll be doing some looks on coming up. This and the Saharan that I just did before that. Okay, let's go through this stack here. So the Nubian Coral. Nubian 3 Coral. None of the corals are comparable, but I will swatch these 3 grayish silver colors. So there's 2 shimmers and 1 matte. And so here's the first shimmer. And this is actually the middle shimmer because of the way I was holding it. So that's what it looks like. Let's block this a little bit. You have some similarities there. Here's the matte, which I think is comparable, but definitely lighter than this gray here. And then the last one, which is the brightest one, is on the end. And that's here. They're pretty similar. I mean, if you've got, this is one you definitely wouldn't need all of these. So if you've got this one, you probably wouldn't need the grays. But if you're like me, you just want to collect them all. I'm going to show you in the pan so you can kind of see what they look like. So those grays with these ones, this has that darker gray, and this has that mid gray. So yeah, and again, I think that what Juvia's Place is trying to do is just make sure that they're not duplicating across. Like they don't want to give you the same color in 2 different palettes, which makes sense to me, and I respect that. So I'm not going to be mad at them for being a little limited on some of the ones that they've already done a lot. But then I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe just do a different color story. I don't know. But I think they went with the ones that really are going to get the appreciation right now. I know grays are really trending right now. Mints are really trending right now. Honeys are always in, and especially for darker skin, they just look fantastic. And then these dark greens are definitely trending right now. So it made sense what they chose. Festival. Here's the Festival. Here's what it looks like. I don't see anything in here. This Oro is too yellow. This, these Uli, U-L-I, here, I think this is more of a white. shimmer, but we'll try it here at the bottom. Yeah, that's much more white than the other grays. So we're definitely going to a very, very reflective white. And again, I'm sorry, my lighting is on the bright side. I did turn it down, but I don't want to turn it down too much or you won't be able to see anything. All right, so that's basically it from the festival. Really nothing there. The Warrior. Here's what the Warrior looks like. I don't know. We've got one gray here. We'll try this. But that is more of a blue-gray. And I think they could have done a blue-gray. But that's what this gray looks like. Lots of grays. Those are all really pretty, though. I wonder what it would look like if you, well, wouldn't make sense to put them all in a palette together, but I really actually appreciate that about Juvia's Place because I think their color stories are very unique and really let you go a lot of different directions with them, especially because the shimmers are so transformative. And so you put those on top of a matte that is a completely different story, color story, and it looks really unique. So, all right, here's the Walhalla 2. And you can see there's this whole line of grays right here. I'm not going to go with the, I'm not going to do anything with the glitter because, of course, there's no glitter on my arm. I am just going to do Ambitious and Greed. So these are the ones that I think are the closest. These are both shimmers. And so I will swatch these. And this is why I think the grays, this palette, was one of the more redundant. But I also think that it was a smart decision because the grays are so popular. But I think they could have almost gone in with like a black and a white and then a couple grays in the middle, and it might have just do a gray tone one, and it might have even been better. But yeah, that's kind of what you have there. More of the same, but they're pretty light. And I don't have really anything else here that is comparable. So far, the two that are the most different are the mints and especially these dark greens here. Okay, so the Nubian 2, this big guy here, there is definitely this Egypt, this dark green in here. That is fantastic. Look how beautiful that is. So we will compare that to the Army side. And that goes beautifully with this, but I don't think it dupes anything here on my arm. Let me look this way. It does a little bit with this shimmer here. Yeah, there's definitely some similarities between this shimmer and this shimmer. It's just that when I turn my hand, this one's shaded while that one's not. So if you kind of see how they reflect, how they move, you can see the similarities between these two. They are not exactly the same. This one is more of a true green. This one has more of a yellow reflect in it. So they're not the same, but they're going to be similar. I will go into, well, do I want to go into that? Let's go into Morocco and Nefertiti for the honey palette here. And that's this one and this one. And those are here. So here's the matte, here's the shimmer. We'll put them over here on the side where I have these guys. Really following the same. So you see there, this is really, really uniform. So if you have very many of these at all, you don't need that honey palette. But then again, if you feel like you need it, you need it. And you have money for it. Let's clarify that, right? I know I blew in my palette. It's my palette, okay? If I want to put my bacteria on my palette, that's my palette. I don't share this with other people, so it's okay. Yeah, so that's what we've got there. But there's a lot of similar tones. They do this really well, and that's probably why they chose that for one of the palettes. But it's popular too because, you know, they're selling it, so makes sense. Okay. I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot, so let's just look at the chocolates. There's nothing there, but gorgeous palette. Love that palette. The mauves, again, nothing here. Nothing to compare. That's what I say. When I say nothing, I mean nothing to compare. The berries, Beautiful. The pinks, this is so pretty, but it stains like the Dickens because these are really, really pigmented. So the nudes, this is, I think, their weakest palette. And this is the one that I say is weakest because they are a Black-owned company that makes their stuff for and by Black skin, darker skin. And so it's funny that it's called the nudes when it's a Black-owned company. Well, this would actually, chocolates would, this would be more, you know, closer to the nudes, right? For darker skin, or the bronzed one. This one would maybe be even nudes. But this one to me is like so pale. It just doesn't, there's almost nothing there. These three shimmers are just silly. And these two are so similar on the skin. They just don't show up really. So that was the only one that was a disappointment. And it's fine. I mean, it's pretty, but it's just like you basically got three of the same shades, unless you're really, really, really light. Then if you're translucent, then it might be great on you. Here's the taupes, which I think is gorgeous. These two are really similar, but we're not talking about these, right? We're talking mostly about these quads. And here, this one I already showed you, which I love. And then of course the blush palette, which is the newer one. Yeah, nothing in here. All right, so those ones do not have any comparisons. So then the two that I just got with these quads are the Nomad. That's this one. So in the Nomad, we've got some greens and we've got some honeyish colors. And this is where I feel like if you got something like this color, like this really light, almost golden honey, this would have been really pretty in a shimmer. And I don't see them having this. This one is not a shimmer. It's one of those reflective diamond sort of shades. I'm going to put this right here, not because it matches anything, but because I want you to see how that would have like added some brightness to this. And just a little bit of dimension. And then I'm also going to swatch this one here. These do not have names either, but this is this orange right here. And this is a little bit more similar to what we've got in this palette. So they're kind of keeping, again, with the same theme that they do really, really well. And then for the greens here, the only one I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to do both of these just for fun, but there's this dark green here, which is definitely more grungy and dirty. Can I say dirty? I don't know, more gray tone, more dingy. And I mean that in a great way because it's gorgeous. This is like the ultimate grunge palette. If you like grungy greens and yellows. So these are not dupes at all, but they would match really well with this quad. And also this one, I think, is kind of similar-ish to this darker one. But this is lighter and it's a little bit more green, where this one's a little bit more gray or brown, maybe. If my lighting was better, I might be able to give you a better report. All right, so that is the Nomad. Let's clean off some of this junk so it doesn't get all over me. And then last but not least, Saharan. Here's the Saharan, what we've got. The only thing I see here is Jamila or Hamila. It wouldn't be Ham probably because that would be Spanish, but it could be. I would think it would be Jamila with a kind of that French ja, but I don't know. I could be mistaken too because I don't really speak any African languages. The closest is Haitian Creole. So, all right. So there we go. Really, really, really similar. So here's what we've got going through all of my Juvia's Place palettes. The grays and the honeys, I think, are the ones that are the easiest to dupe with other Juvia's Place palettes. I think the greens are the hardest because these first four are the quad, and then these are other ones that are not the same at all. The mints, there are a couple that are kind of similar. Come on, focus on me. There we go. But they're not exactly the same. But there are some similarities in the mints. But there's not very many of them in all of their palettes, or all the palettes that I have anyhow. So let's do a look. So I don't have anything on my face. I'm going to be trying their primer for the first time, and I'm using the light primer, the light shade. I'm taking this off my skin so that it doesn't rub all up on my shirt and stain it, because that's annoying. So what do you think? What did you guys think of my swatching? Did anything surprise you? I was actually kind of surprised that it was the gray, that there were so many grays in their palettes, because I don't think of Juvia's place. I wasn't so surprised with the honeys, because I know they're golden, you know, the orangey golden sort of thing. I love that tone, even though it's not the tone that I'm most comfortable with, but I do love that tone. I know this is going to stain a little bit because it's Juvia's place, and that's what happens. So anyway, since I like colorful looks, I'm going to go colorful. And since I only have 2 eyes and I have 4 palettes, we're going to combine them. And since I don't like to do things that are too easy, we're going to combine them in the more unexpected way. So normally I would put the greens together and then maybe the honey and the grays, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. So I'm going to do this on one eye, and I'm going to do this on the other eye. No idea what I'm going to do. You guys ready? Taking my glasses off, which means I probably won't know anything that you guys are saying to me. So hopefully you're not talking to me and I'm missing you. So I don't have any base or anything on. I'm not going to worry about that too much right now because it is night and I'm not planning to go anywhere. So I did squeeze this up and kind of agitate it, shake it, because you can hear it when you get it. I have a little bit of color on this finger, and I hope that doesn't translate to my eye, but we're going to see. I'm just going to tap this in just like I would my ABH. I think I got too much because you see that's the tiniest bit, and it's really, really white. So this is the lightest shade. I do want to try the other ones eventually because I think they would be a lot of fun to work with, the other ones. And I'm going to go ahead and put this under the eye too. But I'm going to see how everything performs. This is not like a wear test or anything because I'll be sleeping after a few hours. So yeah, that's how much is left on my finger and how much is left on this finger. I definitely took way too much. This stuff goes a long way. I don't like the ABH as much as some others because I feel like it dries out my lids. But I don't think this does that as much from what I can see. This seems to be a little less crepey, and I'm going to take a closer look in a second after I get this all applied. I just tap it in. But yeah, it doesn't seem like right here on the inside that it's drying me out. That also could be because it's the end of the day and I'm a little oily, but I did kind of blot down my skin with some of these wipes. Or a wipe, not one of some of these, but a wipe. And so we'll see. But that's what it looks like. I know I look ghostly because it's white, but that's okay because it should hopefully make the colors pop. We're going to do quick looks. I'm going to grab my clean brushes here that I have. I have some clean brushes in the other one as well. So if I don't have it here, we're going to get it over there. And then I need to do a brush cleaning. All right, what should I do? What do you guys think? So I can do a couple of different ways since these are very different. So we're going with the mints and the honeys. These are very, very opposite because not only what brand of Chris, I guess it's Chris. What brand of what do I use? Of primer or of what? I'm not sure what or what brand of wipes. I don't know. I use dollar store wipes because why pay more since it's basically just to remove stuff off my fingers. Okay, so I can go a couple of different ways with this. I can put the gold on the top and then do the mint on the yeah, that on the lid. That's what I was trying to say. I want to use as many of these colors as possible, but I want it to make sense. So I don't want to just be like, let's just throw this all on my lid. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go from mint to gold. We'll see if this is a disaster. So I'm going to start with this little brush. I just picked it up. I'm going to grab this fake color switch I have from AOA Studio, and I will be using this to clean off my brush so that it can just kind of flow from one to the next. I'm going to tap into the lightest color and kind of saturate my brush pretty well with that. And I'm tapping this into the inner corner of that eye. And because my eyes are a little wrinkly right here, I'm going to make sure I pat out the creases. I just kind of put it in where I want and then kind of rotate it around so that it gets all of those creases filled so that they're not bare, if that makes sense. I'll put my glasses on in a second and see if I get a response from Chris. Okay, so this is super pigmented. I had to use a little bit extra just because of my eye shape. It's not something that I would blame on the shadows at all. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of follow the shape of my eye. And I'm going to go into the darker, more with the teal sort of blue with that same brush that I just cleaned off on my little AOA Studio fake color switch. And we'll just put that in. So, and I like to kind of slant the colors out a little bit so that it kind of lifts my eyes up and out since they are middle-aged eyes. Since they're almost 5 decade eyes. Yeah, not 5 centuries. I am not, oh my goodness, look how pretty this is. That is so gorgeous. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I know my camera situation is not necessarily the best. I don't know why I'm worrying too much about that bottom part. I'm going to brighten up that inner part because I got carried away with that teal because it was just so pretty. So I'm going to try to brighten this inner corner with a little bit of that mint. So, okay, there we go. I'm okay with that. Now, I'm going to use a different brush because it's a different color family. So I'll grab this one. This is a Profusion brush. And I'm going to take, I don't really see the need to use all of the mattes because I really think that these two mattes are very similar, kind of irritatingly similar. Like it's just not necessary for it to have been like this, but you know, I love Juvia's place so much. I'm not going to hold that against them. One palette or 2 palettes that are a little bit redundant. I mean, they've got so many beautiful palettes, so I'm not going to complain too much. I actually think this works really well. I'm going to tap right up to that edge with that tealish, sort of that darker of the 2 mattes in the mint palette using this. Oh, by the way, this is a MOTD brush. I got these from Ipsy, I think, and I kind of hated them when I got them from Ipsy. But now that I'm using them, I kind of quite like them. So one of the tricks to remember is what are your colors going to make together when they're mixed. And when you take these colors, even though they're very different, but if you mix the mint with this orange, you get a green. And so that's kind of what I'm playing with right here. A little bit accidentally, but hey, let's make this work, right? Okay, that's pretty. My goodness. It's pretty and I think a little unexpected. I'm going to clean this off. And can I use this brush? I guess I can. I'm going to go into that darkest color in that same honey. And I'm going to go right into the corner of my eye. And then I'm just going to wiggle it around like this. And this again kind of fills in the little nooks and crannies and creases and stuff. And then I'm going to just basically take it up and following the shape of my lower lash line, just kind of take it straight up and out so I can establish that edge. And then I'll kind of start to move it in and mix it in with that lighter of the honey shades. And hopefully this works. And hopefully I can see. Because, you know, again, it is 9 o'clock at night and normal people aren't putting on makeup at this hour. But hey, who said anything about normal? So I don't want these to get muddy, but I do definitely want to get into that little bit darker shade. Okay, I'm gonna clean this off a little bit in the color switch. And I'm gonna just tickle, that's a weird word and a little creepy, but that's okay. I'm gonna tickle this top because I want to make sure all that white from the primer is kind of, now I have a little bit of a crease going back here. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see, and then I can talk to anybody who's been talking to me. All right, so somebody loves me. Oh, just everything here from the UK. Oh man, you know, I hear you because I was living in Haiti for so long, and I am now just getting up on this stuff. I mean, I didn't know anything about what was going on with cosmetics or anything. I mean, I did because I would watch the YouTube channels, but then I didn't have access to the stuff. And it was funny because there was one gas station we'd always go to, and they'd have L'Oreal or Maybelline or one of those, I don't know, one of the gas station brands. And this stuff was so expensive, but the only thing that was left on the shelves was the stuff for white people. But it was kind of funny because I was like, oh, I should buy something. I'd look at the price and I'd be like, no, I'm not going to buy anything. All right, so I want this to blend a little bit more together. I wasn't going to blend it. I was going to just let it stay. But I think because it does make kind of that pretty green color, I don't want to lose the mint or the honey, but I'm going to blend this right in the middle here. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. I don't know. What do you think? Success? Success? Maybe? All right. So, and I'm not going to worry too much about my base. Like I said, I might not do anything with my base because we're just doing this for fun. I'm going to grab a brush that's like a kind of this guy. So these e.l.f. eyeshadow brushes are really nice for applying shimmers. And I'm going to go into the one shimmer on the honey palette and see that picks up really nicely on the brush. Hopefully you can see that. And we're going to just take that on the outer part here. And again, we're kind of taking everything at this angle because I want the eye to follow that angle. But also because I have hooded eyes, I have to alternate between my eyes open and my eyes closed so that I can make it work out. This does pick up very nicely on the brush, but I may tap in with my finger just to make sure it's fully pigmented. I don't know, we'll see. Might not need to. That's really pretty. It's really pretty, and it's really, like I mentioned, it's kind of unexpected. Can I clean this? Yeah, I can clean this off enough to use it in the mint, I think. So I'm going to grab this darker of the two mint shimmers. You already know the lightest one is going to go in the inner corner because that would just make sense. And I'm going to put this on the inside. I'll have to take pictures of these and post them. So I have some pictures. I actually was going to put it up on my timeline and show the pictures of all of the palettes and everything I put together, and then I never posted it. So, but ooh, I like that. I think that's cute. I'm going to echo it on the bottom lash line. I see some messages, and every time I do that, I have to put my okay, I've got love it. I've got tickle. All right, good. So I don't know where tickle came in. I missed something there, but you know, all right, we're good. Consider myself tickled. I'm going to take this lightest one, and I'm just basically going to take the same brush and then squeeze it down and run this along my bottom lash line. Now, this is the kind of green that for me could really make me look washed out. So I would normally make sure that all of the skin around here is really prepped very well so that it doesn't, I don't have like this greenish, bluish, veiny stuff coming through. But I'm going to put this really close to the lash line. And then I'm going to take the yellow on the same brush that I used on the top. And I'll just, for fun, I'll take that medium yellow, which is basically the same. And coming from the outside and coming in, but then instead of going over, I'm going to kind of go under this green a little bit. Now, neither green nor yellow are really my colors, but we're making them my colors because we can. So I think that's pretty cool. Thoughts on that? I'm going to tap into the lightest. I'm going to take this. This is a little cheap. I think this one I got from Shein, from their She Glam. And these are pretty bad quality, but some of them are these flat brushes that actually work pretty well for shimmer application. So, ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, that lightest of the mints, because it's that duochrome. Oh, it's so pretty. It's almost a multichrome. I feel like there's some gold in there too, almost like a golden, I don't know what that is, but ooh, it's pretty. All right, if I had my whole face done, it would look better, but that's how you got it. I'm going to do, and I know this is real time, so you guys get to sit here and watch. I'm going to take this Shockwave, LA Girl Shockwave liner and put that in my waterline because it really matches that mint very nicely. And I always kind of pull out my lower lash line a little bit because I can. And now, if you want to spend more time blending and perfecting and that sort of thing, go right ahead and do it. I ain't gonna, because I'm a rebel, which is why I like these quads, because they're called the Rebel Quads, because I'm a rebel. All right, I'm going to throw some mascara on. I'm going to use my Lash Princess because it's sitting right there looking at me in my pan basket. And, oops, I got some on the lower lash line. It's okay, we'll flip that away. I haven't done my brows or anything. You guys can see that. It doesn't matter. I might make this pretty for the picture they take after this, so I can, when I put them online, it actually gives some value to what I've done. But again, because I'm going to take this look off pretty much right after this, I'm not worrying too much. This has a spoolie on the bottom, so I'm going to take this and flip that little spot away. And there's a couple others here too. Man, because I'm so oily in the summertime, applying mascara is always a trick. Okay, that's what we've got. All right, let's go to the other eye. That's these two palettes so far, other than some duplicating of the colors. I would say they are outstanding and beautiful. Let's tap out any creasing over here. So we're going to do the grays and the greens. Should we do, I think what I want to try to do is do a gray on the outside and then do a green and then do gray right at the lid. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go in with this BH Cosmetics and I'm going to actually start with the green, and I'm going to start with this brighter of this brighter of the two matte greens. And I'm going to put this just across the lid. Ooh, wait, no. I'm going to do a halo. That's what I'm going to do. Halo, 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 halo. Kind of a halo. I might still do like the outer, the inner, or whatnot, but more in a halo sort of effect. Yeah. All right. And I'm just doing this quickly because you don't want to be here all night watching me play with these. But the same thing I did on the other side, I'm just putting it in here and then I'm just wiggling it in circles because that kind of gets it into all the nooks and crannies without letting it get splotchy. Because if I put it there and then I pulled it away, it would tend to build up in certain places and not the others. But if I put it there and I just leave it there and I just move it around, it just kind of nudges the color where it needs to be without moving it away. That's a little trick that I picked up just trying to deal with my eyes. Because, you know, because my eyes are a challenge because they're so hooded. This is going to be a very deep, dark, sultry look, apparently, because this color is very deep, dark, and sultry. I don't know, is it sultry or is it just military? Okay, I'm going to go in with, I'm going to clean off that brush a bit. Why is my computer talking to me? I'm going to go in with the lightest of the gray, which is actually more of a satin, but that will work well because that should make it stick. And I'm going to actually tap that above and kind of right in the middle. So I hope this isn't a disaster. I haven't done a look like this at all ever before in my life, in my long-legged life. So yeah, this has definitely got some shimmer and shine to it. So I'm just kind of using it to blend out the edges of that green. And actually, it's really kind of almost making this darker green into almost a minty green, which is interesting. I feel like the greens and the silvers could have been in a palette together. It was kind of smart of them to do this because financially they're bringing in quite a bit more money. Oops, oops, oops. Man down, brush down. Yes, I just picked that up with my toes. Sometimes you got to improvise. I'm going to re-intensify this a little bit. And then, man, that's pretty. Okay. I'm going to go into this gray, the darker gray, and I'm going to kind of put that like just in the middle there a little bit, just to intensify the fake, what's the word I'm looking for? Crease. Because my eyes are so hooded, I have to fake it. I would say fake it till I make it, but I ain't never going to make it unless I get plastic surgery, which is probably not going to happen because that doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, these are really mixing together, which is looking really pretty, but it's not exactly what I had in mind. But that's okay. That's okay, darn it. We can, you know, we can make it go. So I'm going to take, which brush do I want to use? I'm going to use a little brush. I think I'm going to take this brush right here. This is a new e.l.f. brush that I got, smudge brush, in the last e.l.f. haul. And I'm going to go into the darkest of the shimmers in the Army palette. This one here. And I'm going to kind of just use this and pull that out from the inner corner. So out to the center, and then I'm going to pull it in from the outer corner. So I'm just kind of, this is basically just laying down the base. Lay down the boogie, play that funky music till you die. No, laying down the base, not laying down the boogie. Although laying down the boogie is fine too. Not exactly what I had in mind for this look though. This is a boogie-free look. And then I'm going to take that same brush, just clean it off, and I'm going to go in with that brighter shimmer green. And I'm going to go just on the edge of what I did, just to brighten it a little bit and make it more green. Because that darker green was quite gray, and I do want this to have a green look. But do I know what I'm doing? I do not know what I'm doing. I'm just having fun. But my goodness, that looks pretty. Man, that color is so pretty. Ooh. Okay, so now we're going to tap into, and in this case, again, I don't think it matters which one I use. I'm going to use another one of those funny brushes from Shop Miss A. This one has a bent eyeshadow or eyeliner thing at the end. I'm going to go into the lighter, the less pigmented of the base. Is that what it is? Or is the more, I don't know which one is which. And I'm going to put this right on the center. Now, because I have hooded eyes, it makes blending these really easy because all I got to do is blink a few times and it blends it all together. But I'm not always that lazy. But it's funny because I was looking at it the other day and I was like, yeah, that's really all I have to do. I'm going to, I don't want this to be, there's like a green kind of shadow right here from Fallout, but I also am not trying to take away the primer that I put under. And I do prime my under eyes as well a bit. So, okay, so now that I've got this going on, I'm going to tap in with my finger into the brighter of the green shimmers. And I'm just going to tap this in on the edge of that halo, on both edges of both the inner and outer edge of the silver, because I want to re-intensify that. Because I really want this to be green and silver. I don't want it to just be minty, silvery green. All right, so I think we're doing good there. And then on the bottom lash line here, I'm going to take a small brush, if I can find one. Let's grab this pencil brush. This is from AOA Studio. I'm going to get another one of these. I think I just ordered one. And I'm going to take this from the outside edge and just bring it in. And I'm not really going to echo the halo because this is such a dark green and I don't really want that on my inner corner. So instead I'm just going to put the silver on my inner corner, and just for fun, I'll use the other silver. I think I've used all my brushes here tonight. Maybe not all, but a lot. And put this on the inner corner and bring it out. I have a little eye booger. Don't you love eye boogers? It's so funny, like those are the things that the influencers never show you. But you know, we all get eye boogers. All right, so that is more silver. I may have toned it down a little bit. I just think that the silver just kind of goes everywhere, and partly because since I used this one, which is actually much more shimmery than I expected. It is a satiny shimmer, but it's very reflective up here. But that's okay. I'm not hating it. Now let's see, what do I want to put on here? I have, I think I'll go with this green right here. This is from NYX. And this is this Fresh? No, Emerald Cut. Fresh was the other one. Oh, this one is one that needs to be sharpened. I always forget which is which. So put this on the waterline to kind of intensify the green. I have a green mascara too, but I'm not going to use that right now because I think it'll just get lost in the whole look. All right, kids, we're there. We'll throw some mascara on this side. And there we go. All right, so we've got, again, Lash Princess, both sides. Let me throw my glasses on and see if I look horrendous. I have not put a base on, but if you're going to do something like this, so Chris says the second is her favorite. I'm liking both of these. The second one is a little reflective for me just because I am an older chickie babe. And that means I don't have the smoothest of skin. Now it looks smoother online because, you know, camera quality and whatnot. But I'm going to actually go in with this CoverGirl powder, kind of a powder foundation, just to take care of some shine and make it look like a finished look. I'm not going to do my eyebrows because, you know, who's got time for that? That's basically all we're going to do. And that's actually one of my favorite summertime tricks, is just throw on that stuff. Okay, I can't see anything without my glasses. Ah! Okay, so let me clean off this mascara that got down there. I think we're good. Oh, more mascara here. Man, come on, Priscilla. I squeezed my eyelids closed before it all came together. So that's what we've got. So this is the dark green and the silver. This is the mint green and the honey. And I think they look really nice. I do think that when you mix these two together, you get something very similar to the mint green, but with more depth. Maybe? I don't know. What do you think? So I like this a lot because I like that kind of surprise of orange. I think that's kind of fun. It'll be interesting to see what else can come up with these, but they will eventually be in a rotation, and I'm going to do some looks with them. I'm actually going through another palette, but yeah, you need that. You need this powder. This is really good. So I am oily skinned, and I really like this for the summer because you just put it on and you see it kind of just made everything look smooth and pretty and more or less finished. Gave the tiniest bit of coverage. So you can use this if you have some things that need to be covered. Just use your concealer and then use this over the top. Fantastic. And that's what I love in the summertime, not having to worry about details. Anyway, I didn't use this stuff because it's just too oily right now to use at night, and I'm feeling oily anyhow. But I'm going to play with it a little bit more, and then I'll probably play with it more in the wintertime, because I think it'll be ideal in the wintertime. What is my favorite Essence mascara? This is actually the only one I know from Essence, I think. I've heard that the curling one is pretty good, but yeah, I know the UK, right? It's the same thing in Haiti, where just getting stuff is a problem. There's several others. So this is the CoverGirl one, but a bunch of other places have this kind of powder too. Another really good powder that is UK based is the No. 7 powder. And I have it in, oh, it's not here. It's back there because I took it out of my monthly bin when I switched over for this month. But I have mine in tinted. So the No. 7 powder, I have the pressed powder. It's so good. So good. And it is even better than this one for blurring, I think. But this one gives a little bit more coverage. So it really depends on what you want. But the No. 7 just makes me look like I've got baby face. Even close up. Right now, I mean, on the screen it looks like that anyhow, but you don't see all the texture and whatnot that I can see here close. But yeah, it is really fantastic. So try the No. 7. That's really good, and that's a British brand, isn't it? I think so. It's a European brand. Am I wrong? So yeah, try No. 7. They're fantastic. I love everything I've tried from that brand. Their mascara is okay, but other than that, everything I've tried from there, I love. Yeah, that's what we got. It looks like a winner to me. I think they're cute. I think it was fun to go through everything and make the comparison. And so hopefully that was helpful to some of you guys if you were looking at maybe buying these quads, or you were interested in getting them, or you're just curious about what Juvia's Place has to offer. Hopefully I showed you enough of a variety. There's only, I think, 5 palettes that they have currently that I don't have, and that will hopefully be rectified at some point. But rectified, that's a gross word. Sounds so eerily similar to other gross words. Anyway, so yeah. And then I'm hopefully going to be getting some of their other products. Like I said, I've only got the pencil, which I really enjoy. This is the bright blue one for the waterline. I really like this one. I have not tried the other pencils. This primer does seem to be pretty good. I'm going to keep this eye look on for a little bit and see if it creases. I stay up late, so I probably won't go to sleep until like 3 or 4 because my husband works nights and I can't sleep without him. I'm one of those. This I think will be really nice in the winter time, because I get way drier in the winter. So I think this might be really nice then. We'll see, but I might also be able to find, a way to use it that works in the summertime. But I might just not fight with it right now. I might try their foundation. The reason I haven't gotten a lot of other of their stuff is because they're not really at a drugstore price. They're kind of at the high drugstore price, but they're at like luxury quality. So it's definitely worth the price. It's just that, for me, I'm like, $15 for a pencil, or it's like $11 or $12 for a pencil versus, where's the one that I used from, versus like $4 or $5 from LA Girl. So yeah, so that's just me being cheap. So whatever. Anyway, this was fun. I love hanging out with you guys. We're way over the hour that I try to keep it at, but hey, it was fun. If you like this, and Kira, thank you so much for your interaction over here on YouTube. And I know I've missed some people both on YouTube and on Instagram. So, but I loved having you guys come in. I will try to interact with you guys as well as possible. When my glasses come off, I can't see anything, so sorry about that. But thank you so much for interacting and giving me your feedback. And for those that are watching this after the live, thank you so much for tuning in. Leave your comments. If you interact with me, that really helps me to grow. And especially if you're on Instagram, check me out on YouTube so that I can grow that. I think I've got like 51 subscribers over there. So I'm trying to build that up a little bit. Let's get to 100. Let's see if we can get to 100 by the end of the year. That's a big goal, right? And then if you're on YouTube, go check me out on Instagram, because I put a lot more content there. So I have, I'll do like trying out like comparisons. Every time I've got a haul or any new stuff, I put that on there and kind of, interact with you guys on that. And then I also do my looks. So I do 3 looks for each palette and go with that. So I'm working on another palette. You guys will see which one it is, but I did a look yesterday with it. And then I'm skipped today because of knowing that I was going to be doing this video, but I will pick it up tomorrow and the next day. So you guys will see what that palette is. It's a lot of fun and I'm excited about having it. So see you in the next one, and you guys have a great night, and see you Sunday at 3 o'clock if you are available. If not, you can watch the recording. Bye.